allowing yourself to experience boredom sometimes can have unexpected rewards. Yesterday, for example, around 6 in the evening, I was sitting with a close friend in the park, and while we were sitting on the grass, actually we were studying Thai at the time, there emerged from a small hole a fairly big lizard, a monitor lizard to be precise. At first, this fairly big lizard poked its head out and cautiously looked around. I guess it was deciding whether it was safe to go out and hunt for food. But at that time of the evening, the park is usually fairly full, and of course yesterday was no exception. There were many people playing games or sitting on the grass, so it really was not a safe time for the lizard to come out. However, he was quite persistent. After poking his head out a few times, he slowly emerged and then began to walk steadily across the grass towards a father and his young daughter. We were the only two who had noticed the emergence of the lizard, and we were in a perfect place to observe. But as the lizard began walking towards the father and his young daughter, I think the daughter may have been 2 or 3 years old, my friend began to become concerned that maybe the lizard had some nasty intentions. Maybe it intended to eat the kid. I may be joking, but anyway, she shouted to the man to warn him. He turned around and saw the lizard. Then the lizard quickly ran back into its hole. It was an amazing scene, and we were lucky to have been able to see it because we were sitting not quite idly in the park. Not quite idly means not doing nothing. We were doing something. We were learning Thai together, but we would have been just as able to observe this event if we had been just sitting and doing nothing in the park. So my point here is that sometimes boredom can lead to unexpected and novel experiences. I have always enjoyed walking in solitude or sitting around in natural places, so I have often seen performances in nature which have excited or amazed me. It is interesting that the other people in the park had not seen the lizard until my friend shouted to the father of the child. Even though the lizard was maybe more than 1 meter long and in plain view, people were just not paying attention. They were doing their stuff, using their iPhones or playing a game or talking. I think people are not very observant, especially nowadays when everyone seems to be addicted to their iPhones. They miss wonderful things going on around them, which can often be very entertaining. I felt quite sorry for the lizard because, in my mind, he was leading a natural and pure life and was just doing something quite simple, like looking for some food to eat or maybe going to do some exercise. yet he was obstructed by human beings. I notice when kids see a lizard like this, they will usually tease the reptile or chase it away. Maybe partly because they are afraid, but I think mostly because it's fun to do this. So while other people are sitting in their cars, racing around on their motorbikes, or standing on a crowded bus, we had the luxurious experience of witnessing this tiny event in the universe. But I think tiny events like this are fascinating and in some way make you feel more alive, like you are part of the world, the natural world I mean, and not just another member of society. Being a member of society, I think, tends in some way to restrict our experiences, because we only see and value experiences which fit into our ideas about how we function in society. Are we rich? Are we poor? Are we smart and intelligent? Are we wearing nice clothes? Do we have nice cars? Stuff like that. I find when I am bored that I begin to use my senses more. Eyesight, hearing, smell, touch. This can lead to very subtle experiences which we tend to miss in the world controlled by technology. So as I sit here, for example, I can feel the cold breeze on my skin, which is a very pleasant sensation. Most people will think it is not as exciting as scrolling through my Facebook messages, but I might not agree with that. We should not forget that we are actually animals, just like that lizard, and our primary experience of life should be through our physical senses. We should perhaps spend more time enjoying using these senses. And I don't mean run off to McDonald's and have a Big Mac. While taste is certainly one of our most exciting senses, we should be careful not to indulge it too much. What do you think is our most important sense? I'm sure most people would think this is our eyesight. Just imagine, even for 5 minutes, not being able to use your eyes and how much difficulty that would lead you into, and how much less joyful your life would be. When I think of all the stuff I use my eyes for, I can't imagine how I would do without them. Watching TV and movies, being able to walk wherever I want to, read books, basically do everything in life, because almost everything would be virtually impossible to do without the use of my eyes. It doesn't bear thinking about. Here's an experiment you can try by yourself. For a few minutes each day, spend some time trying to suppress or get rid of one of your senses. So eyesight would be easy. For example, you just close your eyes for a while and see what you are losing. But you could also try to experiment with other things, like maybe hearing. So you could put your hands over your ears so you cannot hear anything, and see what you are missing from the world. The usefulness of this experiment is that it may show you how this particular sense is important, and you may start paying more attention to it. Well, I think I have said enough for now, so let me say goodbye, and we will talk again.